What's in the blue box from Blue Note? Well, let's find out. What is going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand new video. Today is going to be a fun one, and I can't wait to get into this. First, I have to thank Blue Note for sending these two bottles my way. We are going to be diving into their brand new 2025 releases of their Honey Casks finished bourbon and rye. Super stoked for this. Last year's 2024 release of the bourbon was absolutely incredible. Really great finished product. It wasn't so over the top of the finish. You still got those beautiful bourbon notes with that lingering, beautiful finish from the honey. Now, the bourbon over here comes in at 113.86 proof. The rye comes in at 116.49 proof. A little bit higher proof on the rye than the bourbon, and that is what it is. If you guys want your chance to win a free sample of these, got to check that link out down below for the Patreon. I'm going to be giving a free sample away to one lucky Patreon. Make sure you guys drop that like, smash that subscribe button, and leave a comment down below on what your favorite honey finished whiskey is down below. But without further ado, let's get these poured and let's get to this blind. So I have these two whiskeys poured in front of me, absolutely blind. I've got no idea which one is which, and we're gonna go through this, and I'm gonna let you guys know which one I prefer over the other. Last year, like I said, that bourbon was absolutely incredible, but maybe the rye is gonna be better. Who knows? A lot of people say ryes take on finishes a little bit better than bourbon. So let's start here on our left and your right. Sweet with a little, wow, okay, honey bun note. But not over the top sweet. It's not like a glaze. It's not like the like super sugary glaze. I get that pastry, but then I also get that, obviously, rich honey note. You get a really nice pastry note on this. A little touch of a molasses. There is a floral note that comes through on this as well. I get a little kick of a proof. It has so much sweetness, and there's some depth to this that I really enjoy. It's not just uber bright. It's got this richness to it, a little bit of a complexity that each time you go into the glass, you're finding something a little bit different. There's really nice warm sugar cookie notes coming off of this too. Just overall a sweet nose. It's got some boldness to it, but it's not over the top complex to where you're not going to be able to know what you're finding in this glass. I want to dive into the nose on the right before we get into these sips though. The one on the right, surprisingly, I'm getting a little bit more of an oak influence. There's this musty tone coming from it. A little darker almost. Definitely a little bit more of like maybe a touch of like a wet oak vibe coming off of this. There's that really almost like condensed honey nose where this was bright and warm. This is a little bit more condensed and bold in your face in a way. Overall, I think on the noses, two completely different noses. I think my go-to for the nose, I like the brightness and the overall complexity of what the one on the left here has to offer. The one on the right, really nice nose, a little bit different, a little bit darker, a little bit more on that musty, funky kind of aspect. The honey was a little bit more condensed, where this one, the honey was a little bit more, it didn't overtake the nose, but you knew that this was a honey finish. So, enough of the nose. Let's dive into the palates and see which one of these two I prefer. I'm going to go on the left. I'm going to go in on the left one first. Very easy to sip. Whatever one that is, it's bright, it's simple. The honey note on that is almost like you took like a honey stick. It's not like if you took like a tablespoon or a teaspoon of honey and, you know, took that directly into your mouth. What it's like is you took a honey stick, and it's like one of those hard honey sticks, and it's one of those like ones that you just lick and you get a little touch of honey every time you go back to it. And it's not over the top sweet. This one right here, I like that. I like the profile a lot. I will say though, it's a thick sip. It's like a syrupy thickness on your tongue. It's viscous. It adds some complexity to that sip, and the mouthfeel is absolutely incredible. It's got this velvetyness where the bourbon comes through. You get that oakiness, you get some caramel notes, you get some really nice, almost butterscotchy notes, but through and through, you know that this one here is a honey finished whiskey, no matter what. There is no confusing it at all. But you get so much back and forth with the whiskey and the honey notes. They just marry so well in this that it's going to be hard for this one to outcompete this one, but we're going to dive into this one and see what it's got to offer. Cheers, everybody. This one is darker. I get some spice to this. I feel like the whiskey kind of is coming through a little bit more on the one on the right here. I get molassesy notes. I get some really nice baking spice notes. If I had to take a guess, I would say that this is the rye and this is the bourbon because of the brightness and the darkness comparative on the two. It's just which one do I think takes that finish on a little bit better? And it's very hard to make that call because of how different these two profiles are with the same finish. Wow. Oh my goodness. The molassesy, dark brown, sugary, almost like dark, sweet baking spices kind of intertwine with that honey and bring you a little bit more of a roller coaster ride aspect on the palate that lends into the finish with a lot of darkness and richness and a little bit of an oaky vibe that comes through on the one on the right here. And I kind of enjoy the overall outcome of this one because of that complete roller coaster ride it brings you over top of the one on the left. But the one on the left here has something going on for it that the one on the right doesn't. It's got this brightness, this like, wow, the mouthfeel and the viscosity and the syrupiness that this one has without being overly sweet is something to say about it. They're so different, so enjoyable with the sweetness and the viscosity and the velvetyness that this one has on the mouthfeel compared to the boldness and the flavor profile of this one. I don't know if I could specifically pick a winner, but if I had to go with one that I would tend to lean towards a little bit more, I think I'm going to have to go with the one on the right. I like what the roller coaster ride brings a little bit more than what the sweetness and the mouthfeel has to bring on the one on the left. So I have to give the one on the right the nod, but the one on the left, incredible sip. So without further ado, you guys are going to see which one this one is first before I do. And this one is the rye, like I had thought. And you guys can see what that says there on the bottom. This should say BOU. Yes, it does. So I preferred the rye over the bourbon with this finish. But that does not go to say that if you only find the bourbon in your area, that you shouldn't pick it up. No, 100% pick this up because it is an absolute enjoyable sip. And like I said, I can't thank Blue Nut enough for sending these two bottles my way to bring you guys a review. These are not bottles that break the bank. They are going to be a little bit harder to find because they are limited releases. But if you find either one of them or both of them, I would 100% say pick them up. And like I said, if you're unlucky and don't find either one of these and you want a sample, make sure you guys check that link out down below for the Patreon. Smash that like, hit that subscribe button. Until next time, it's been Nathan, the Everyday Drinker. Cheers.